afternoon. Happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone out there. I'm Karen Campbell here with meteorologist Sean Ash. And it can be a beautiful Valentine's Day if you maybe have some indoor plans for this evening.
Well, it's chilly. It's chilly. Yeah, I will tell you, I think what we see on radar here, most of it, Karen, it's going to come after, well after midnight. So not all, but most after midnight. So good shape there. And we're enjoying the sunshine. But man, I tell you, it was a chilly start here this morning. This is the vantage point from Morse Lake there. You can see the sun, little wispy cloud cover, but there's a lot of blue sky filling us here over central Indiana as well. There's I-70 at Harding Street, and here's the look from downtown as we look south. We're at 26, wind chill of 18, southeast wind at about 5 to 10. Got to show you those low temperatures this morning. We told you it was going to be our coldest in about 3 weeks, and that did verify. Single-digit low temperatures, near zero, in fact, in Lafayette and Kokomo. The 10 in Indy, not a daily record, not even close. That was 14 below back in 1905, but colder than our average low for this time of year. Now, mid-20s at this hour. We're enjoying some sun. There's the leftover snow from the last system. And show you the visible satellite. There's a little bit of wispy cloud cover over the northern third of the state. We look back to the west. Here comes some moisture, and that's what's going to be working through. Again, it does not impact us much today other than the fact that we will have increasing clouds as we get closer to 5, 6 o'clock. After 7 p.m. and before midnight, there's a chance, it's a low chance, but perhaps a few flurries or a little bit of light snow. I think it would be more northwest of Indy if it happens at all. Then after midnight and before you wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to have a little bit of a mess. We'll talk about this, and then we got some chances for some rumbles of thunder, and then the colder, snowy end to the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Sean.
You got it.
An 18-year-old Mooresville High School student will face a judge this afternoon. That teen is accused of planning a mass shooting. Take a look at these court documents here outlining some of the suspect's writing. It says, quote, Parkland Part 2. Of course, I've been planning this for a year. Police say an anonymous tip prevented a tragedy. Since that call, they have uncovered a series of disturbing messages and supplies. Evidence, they say, backs up their allegations. Logan Gay spoke with parents and students in Mooresville about the frightening plan uncovered by police, and a plan is as far as it got.
18-year-old Mooresville High School student Trinity Shockley is being held in the Morgan County Jail without bond. Mooresville Police Chief Kerry Buckner says Shockley was allegedly planning a mass shooting at Mooresville High School on Valentine's Day. Now Shockley charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder and 2 counts of intimidation, threat to commit terrorism. Shockley was arrested on Tuesday.
Nothing ever happens in Mooresville. It's a small town, but to think that somebody was plotting to hurt a lot of individuals, kids, I mean, future leaders of this country or whoever, is pretty disturbing.
According to court documents, Shockley sent messages to people on social media that said, I've been planning this for a year, and shared a photo of 10 AR-15 magazines. The allegations shocking the suspect's classmates.
I haven't read all the details, but hearing all that what she said, yeah, it's pretty crazy and freaked me out a lot. I feel safer now that she's not here, but then again, the threat of someone else doing it and or someone that was has the same ideas of her that's always a fear going to school.
During the investigation, detectives say they found evidence in Shockley's room that suggests the suspect may have had some kind of infatuation with school shooters. Detectives say they also found 3 notebooks in Shockley's backpack with the following excerpts. I want to hurt others. Becoming the worst version of myself hurts, but this needs to be done.
The pictures in her room they look like family photographs, like you would put of your kids, but they were all of people that had committed mass shootings. She had buttons on her backpack with the faces of the mass shooters in them.
Aaron Wilson has 2 kids who attend Mooresville High School. He says he wishes the school would have alerted parents earlier, but he says he's focusing on being thankful for the person who reported it.
You know, whether she intended to carry it out or not, they weren't willing to take that risk, and I'm very, very thankful for them doing so.
Now Wilson is making sure his kids have the tools to handle whatever life throws their way.
But, you know, I also do believe that it's It's our job to not hide in fear. It's our job to walk through adversity and know that these things happen in our world, and we can't hide behind them. We have to keep pushing forward, and just it's a valuable lesson for them to learn at a young age.
And that was our Logan Gay reporting there. According to court documents, when Shockley spoke with a detective at the Mooresville Police Department, Shockley allegedly said it was a joke, and Shockley, quote, would never do that and does not have access to a gun. As for the father Logan spoke with, he says he's keeping his kids home today just so they can clear their minds and start off the next week fresh. Also, the person charged in this case has been in the news before as the victim in a drunk driving case. Back in 2022, police say someone hit Shockley while they were getting on the school bus. In court documents, police say Shockley told them about being bullied after the crash and threatened for years. 13 News will be there at today's initial hearing, and we'll have more starting on 13 News at 4 o'clock. Well, right now we are learning more about a drug task force investigation by authorities in Kokomo and Wabash County. They have made more than a dozen arrests. Now, this started last year when police found meth, fentanyl, marijuana, and cocaine in what they call dealer quantities. Detectives also seized guns, body armor, and cash. Investigators say there are active warrants out for 2 of the suspects identified during Operation Breeze. Attorney General Todd Rokita now warning IMPD and IPS to cooperate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. According to Rokita, local law enforcement is required to offer help to the fullest extent that federal law allows. IMPD has said they are prioritizing reducing crime and violence, and they work with federal partners every day. According to the department, officers have not been asked to do any sweeps and don't intend to. Rokita says if they don't cooperate, they could face legal action.
If there's an apprehension made, if there's a stop made, and in that situation, it's found out that this person is an illegal alien, and ICE has asked, if that's the case, I'm not sure, but if ICE has asked for that kind of cooperation to say, let us know if you pick up someone who is an illegal alien, then local law enforcement has to tell them.
And as for IPS, Rokita says district leaders would allow ICE on school grounds to conduct a search and seizure, and that doesn't require a warrant under the 4th Amendment. IPS says the district will comply with all local, state, and federal laws. A statement from IPS says, in part, during a time that has created anxiety and concern for many in our community, we also remain vigorously committed to fostering a safe, inclusive, and welcoming environment for all of our students. Well, now we want to tell you about an update on a story that we've been following closely here. Indiana lawmakers, they are launching an investigation into troubles at the U.S. Postal Service hub here in Indianapolis. Now, we've reported on multiple complaints about lost or delayed packages. Now, every member of Indiana's congressional delegation has signed a letter written by Representative Jefferson Shreve to the U.S. Postmaster General. It demands an explanation about the causes of the delays and steps the Postal Service is taking to address them. And you can read this full letter right now on WTHR.com. We will, of course, have more on this investigation starting at 4 o'clock on 13 News. An interim plan is now in place to clear snow off of residential streets before another heavy snowfall. Now, recent back-to-back snowstorms left neighbors frustrated and some streets even untouched. Last night, the Public Works Committee put a pause on the full plan. Instead, Mayor Hogsett and Council President Bob Opsley put out a statement. The interim plan calls for DPW to plow residential streets when it snows 4 or more inches. Now, this comes weeks after 13 News discovered more than 1,000 miles of residential roads were not part of the city's plowing policy. Some councilors were surprised the plan was being delayed.
A lot of us didn't really even get a heads up that we were going to be doing that. You would think after last month's committee meeting and all the feedback that councilors received from our constituents that we would have acted on something tonight.
Once you get that ordinance, it's not as flexible as an internal policy. We want to make sure that we get it right.
The Public Works Committee will review the vote and vote on the full proposal during its next meeting that happens in March. Well, it may be cold outside, but the month of May will be here soon enough. And with that comes Race Day. Today marks 100 days until the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. And today, the excitement starts at Riley Hospital for Children, where drivers will join a Valentine's Day party. There is the 100 Days Out fan party at IMS starting at 7 and a fireworks show over at the Speedway around 9:30. It all leads to the greatest spectacle in racing. The green flag drops May 25th. And coming up at 12:45, you'll want to stick around because new president of IndyCar and Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Doug Boles, he will be joining us to talk the month of May.